So yes, just an opportunity to share with you some information in relation to one of the key areas that we have been discussing today. It's about the role of plant variety protection and UPOV membership in the context of socio-economic developments for the countries that decide to join UPOV. So I would like to share some information in relation to this very important topic. I would like to start with a very, I would say, meaningful moment at the time where our most recent UPOV member joined UPOV. This is Ghana. Ghana is the 78th member of UPOV. Now UPOV membership covers 97 states. So from that point of view, I would like to say it is truly a global organization. And at the moment where the delegation of Ghana was addressing the governing body of UPOV, really stated the importance of Ghana's membership to UPOV. And as you can see, the key element that was shared was that Ghana's membership to UPOV really is key for its food security and to meet its national development goals. Let's put a context on this presentation into the agenda on sustainable development. We can see the key elements here is a world where food is sufficient, safe, affordable, and nutritious. We also have a key element about inclusive economic growth, social development, and environmental protection to eradicate poverty and hunger, and the development and application of technology and climate-sensitive respect of biodiversity and resilience. So here we have the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals. I will focus in the presentation today to selected Sustainable Development Goals that are relevant for UPOV. So we have here the Sustainable Development Goal number 1, 2, 9, 12, 15, and 17. We are going to look into more detail on those particular goals. Let's take the first one, no poverty. In one of the presentations today and the follow-up questions from the audience, it was highlighted the importance of these two elements, as Ms. Hinderbarty mentioned, not only the access to new improved varieties, but how together there is also improved farming practices, because both of them are essential to have the impact of plant variety protection. In many of the countries, and as it was explained by Manabu also in the presentation, plant variety protection is one of the tools for the development of agriculture. I'm going just to give you an example related to this particular topic. The situation here that I'm sharing with you is one of also recent UPOV members, Peru, and I'm showing some example of blueberries and how blueberries have increased the number of developed varieties accessible to farmers and growers that will give benefits also for the harvest. As you can see from the hand of the two farmers, one with very small blueberries and with some pain into the fingers, as you can see, this blood because of the spines, and then new varieties that are more suitable for the harvest without those thorns. And also, as you can see, the size of the fruit and the quality meeting the needs of the consumers. So nowadays, Peru is number one exporter of blueberries worldwide. And there have been more than 60 new varieties of blueberries that have been protected. Let's look into another sustainable development goal, zero hunger. We have heard that sometimes farmers, even the same farmer, is facing challenges of drought or even flood, even during for the same crop, and sometimes even the same season. So this is why we need these improved varieties that are adapted to these conditions. I'm just highlighting to you that the challenges that breeders, whether public breeders, private breeders, small, large, the key element is how to produce more and better with less land, less water sometimes, and how also to do that in a way that even with the challenging conditions, there is a protection for the environment, a protection for the planet. So UPOV mission is to provide and promote an effective system of plant variety protection for the benefit of society. And I'm just going to highlight one of the key features and benefits of the UPOV system is the breeders' exemption. The key message here is that how we can provide a system that breeders and farmers have access to these new improved varieties to breed from the best. Because under the UPOV system, if the varieties are protected and they are available in the market, you don't need to wait to the expiration of the breeder's rights to use those varieties to develop new varieties. From the beginning, you can use protected varieties for further breeding. So this is, for example, in the case of tomato, we have some videos that explain how thanks to the breeder's exemption and the encouragement of the development of new varieties, there has been a diversity of varieties of tomato. So this is back to one of the misunderstandings. Breeders want diversity. Breeders need diversity to continue breeding. So another example here. We look into also Sustainable Development Goal number 12, how we can ensure that while developing new varieties, there is also the awareness that even under the current climatic conditions, there are new diseases, new pests that come also as a result of this climate change. And again, the farmers will need these new varieties to address that. We had recently organized an event at the international level where farmers and growers from different UPOV members have also benefited from information on new plant varieties that had been developed in order to accommodate the challenges of climate change. This information is available in the website, but here I heard that it's quite important rice and maize, I think in Indonesia. So I was bringing you this particular example from Kenya, how they are doing in the breeding programs, particular breeding to address the challenges of maize and in order to obtain drought-tolerant varieties. This information is available in the UPOV website. We look into the Sustainable Development Goal number 15, life on land, very important. How we can all be responsible in the way that we work and what we do in order to ensure, that we contribute to a better planet. So new plant varieties are key for that, because if there is something that will enable to produce more to feed the population with less land, is new plant varieties. So this is why there is a link between new plant varieties and protecting the environment. So how we can, for example, also one example here is a variety of pepper. This example comes from Republic of Korea. And as you can see, it's about giving farmers choices. Francesco mentioned that this morning to us. Here, imagine you are in the choice of a farmer. You have propagating material of a variety that is resistant to this particular fungus. And then you have another variety that is not resistant. So at the end, it's up to the farmer to be able to choose which one will be most suitable for the conditions. But without an enabling environment, those choices may not reach out to the farmer. And I'm going to finish the presentation with the partnership, about working together, how we can partner together to achieve these sustainable development goals. Because what plant variety protection provides is a framework that will enable those partnerships. Some of the UPOV members that have started to implement the system, they realized the big evolution. At the beginning, before becoming UPOV member, there was no breeding. All the breeding that was done in the country was just done by the public research institutes because they had public funding. But most of the public research institutes, they also have challenged to receive more public funding for the new challenges and the new needs to address the farmers, I would say, requirements. So from that point of view, when there is plant variety protection, there is a diversity of breeders, different size, pharma breeders, small, medium-sized companies, even global companies, but all of them will have the possibility to also create partnerships, public-private partnerships, because sometimes there are a lot of experts, and probably some of them here in the room, with a lot of knowledge on the particular crop at the scientific level. But then you need the companies, the small, medium-sized companies that will distribute the variety to make it successful for the farmer. And for those partnerships to take place, it will be important that there is plant variety protection, because it's a long-term investment to develop a new variety, but it's also an investment to distribute the variety and to make it knowledgeable to the farmer at the right time, the right quantity, the right location. We are just discussing with Ms. Lenny how now, with the changing conditions, sometimes even the choices about farmers having the material at the right moment is very challenging. So you need to have this distribution that will enable to address those farmers' needs rapidly and in an efficient way. So here I'm giving one example of this public-private partnership. This comes from South Africa and is the National Research Institute. They are very well known for citrus. They have developed many citrus varieties, partially with public funding. But you know, they protect, very important to protect the new varieties, because through protection, they enter into agreement with private companies that will be in charge of multiplying, distribution, and do the commercialization of the variety. But because this Public Research Institute has protected the breeders' rights, can negotiate conditions in the license in order to meet some national development objectives. For example, there may be an area where a smallholder growers of these varieties could benefit from this economic development. So they will put that condition in the license. So the private company that is going to commercialize the variety from the public institute will have to make that variety available for the farmers and growers, especially smallholder growers in that particular part of the country. And this is possible through plant variety protection and the licensing agreements that comes with it. So it is possible to protect, also to deliver public good. And this is back to one of the questions I think was addressed by some of the representatives from the organizations that convey some key role of the civil society. And I would like just to transmit that, as you can see from this map, there is a real complementarity between the different treaties that deal with conservation and access to plant genetic resources. We have the multilateral system by the international treaty under FAO, the ITPGRFA, and then the Convention of Biological Diversity, and that also has the Nagoya Protocol that addresses the bilateral access and benefit sharing. As you can see, there is a great majority of UPOV members that are bound by the two treaties because both are very important. They have different objectives, conservation and breeding, but those objectives complement each other. So I would like just to convey maybe a key message that may inspire us in our working together. We see the challenges that are facing, you know, the farmers, the growers, but also all of us. And I would like to say we all have a role for a better life, a better planet, and in that sense to ensure that is sufficient quality food that reaches all of us and also future generations while we protect the planet. So thank you very much for your attention.